All right, welcome. Today we're going to be detectives. We're diving into a historical mystery, a lost film. And the craziest part? Our only clue is just a few words. Seriously, that's it. Let's see what we can dig up.
And this is it. This is literally everything we have to go on. 3 lines. The Egyptian pyramids, funny animated short film, Cairo 1920. That's our entire case file. No film, no script, nothing. Just these words. So yeah, this is where we start.
So, what can you really build from just 3 lines? I mean, at first glance, you'd think, not much, right? But what if I told you these 3 lines are like a key that could unlock a window into a really specific, really intense moment in history? We're talking tensions, culture clashes, a whole world in flux. Let's find out just how much we can squeeze out of these few words.
Okay, let's dive in. First things first, we've got to understand what we're actually looking at here. This isn't just a list of words on a screen. No, we have to treat this thing like a true historical artifact, something with its own story baked right in. So this comes from a title card. Back in the day, before movies had sound, these cards were everything. They were the dialogue, the narrator, the punchline, literally the voice of the film. And what's really wild is that for so many films from that era that are now lost forever, a single title card like this might be the only evidence we have that they were ever even made. All right, now let's actually look at the words themselves, because when you do, something jumps out immediately. There's this really strange clash between what the film is about and what it is. Think about it. On one side, you've got the Egyptian pyramids. I mean, they're ancient, they're massive, they scream serious capital H history. But then on the other side, a funny animated film? That's modern, it's light, it's kind of disposable, especially for the time. It doesn't add up, does it? It's like trying to play a silly cartoon jingle over a solemn documentary. The two things just feel completely at odds. And that brings us to the heart of the mystery, really. Why make a funny film about something so monumental? Why comedy? Was it just a cheap laugh, or was there something else going on entirely? To get even a hint of an answer, we need to look at our last and most important clue, where and when this was all happening. Cairo, 1920. Now, this isn't just a setting on a postcard. This is probably the single most important piece of the puzzle. To understand this weird little film, we have to understand the world it came from. And trust me, this was not some quiet, dusty city. It was a total flashpoint. So check this out. Our little funny film wasn't made in a vacuum. It was created smack in the middle of a political firestorm. We're talking just 1 year after the huge 1919 revolution against the British. And only 2 years before Howard Carter finds King Tut's tomb, which is going to set off a worldwide craze called Egyptomania. So you've got this city just buzzing, absolutely electric with nationalism and tension with the colonial powers. You see, this context changes everything. In 1920 Cairo, the pyramids weren't just some old rocks in the desert. No way. They were a powerful symbol of a national identity that Egyptians were actively fighting to get back from the British. And all of a sudden, making a funny movie about them? Yeah, that starts to look like a much more interesting decision, doesn't it? Okay, so now it's time to put all the pieces together. We've got the weird title, we've got the silent film format, and now we have this explosive historical backdrop. Let's try and connect the dots and see if we can figure out what this film might have actually been about. So, what are the possibilities? I mean, could this have been a political satire, making fun of bumbling British archaeologists digging around? Or maybe it was an allegory, right? Like the ancient pyramids coming to life in a new, modern Egypt. It could have even been a little jab at the first tourists who were starting to show up and treat these sacred sites like an amusement park. Or, hey, maybe it was just the opposite. Maybe it was just pure escapism, a silly cartoon to give people a break from all the political chaos. Any one of these feels possible. When you look at it like that, the title card isn't just a label anymore. It's a statement, and it's absolutely packed with the contradictions of its era. Making something funny when things are so incredibly serious, well, that's a powerful choice. So what's the big takeaway here? Why does this one little title card matter? Well, this whole exercise really shines a light on something super important about how we make sense of the world, not just in the past, but right now. And it all comes down to one word: context. Just think about what we did. We took the text apart, we dug into the world behind it, we connected the clues. And just like that, a whole world of possible stories bloomed from just 3 little lines of text.
It's a process you can really use for anything to see what's hiding beneath the surface. And really, this is the main point of the whole thing. Without knowing about Cairo in 1920, our title card is just a weird random piece of trivia. But with that context, it transforms. It becomes this fascinating piece of history. The background stuff wasn't just extra flavor, it was the story. So I'll just leave you with this to chew on. Every day, you see headlines, you scroll past memes, you watch short little clips. What's the Cairo 1920 that's missing from all that? How much of the real story do you think we lose when all we get are those few words on a screen? It's something to think about. Thanks for joining me.